Hello and welcome to Episode 8 of the Championship Rounds podcast. I'm Andrew, joined by Dan, boxing fan, and Taj, boxing journals. And today we're going to be previewing a huge weekend of boxing in Japan. There's already an episode out covering the Batavia Bivol card, fight, that whole event. So if you haven't watched that, go and watch it. But this episode is solely focused on the 4 massive cards in Japan this weekend. I think we'll start on Saturday, going chronological order. Sivanachi Nonshinga defends his IBF light flyweight title against former champion Masamichi Ibuki in a fight that really, in my opinion, is for the number one in the division at 108 pounds right now. Don't know about you, Dan, but I'd say the winner's number one.
Yeah, I think it is, especially with Kenshiro and Bomber moving up. I think it has to be. Are they ranked number 1 and 2?
I have no idea. I think Kenshiro still has a ring belt technically, and
yeah, he does. Yeah, that would make sense.
And I don't think Ibuki's ranked that highly. But like you said, half these guys are moving up. Guys like Kuriel moved up to flyweight already. Bomber's moved up. Kenshiro's moved up.
It's funny, by default, Nonshinga might have to just be number 1. He's the only one with a belt.
Yeah, he's the only champion right now. Yeah.
So.
Right. Well, I mean, there's still Canazales. He's still good.
Yeah, Canazales. Well,
he's getting that title shot soon.
Canazales had a really shaky performance last time out, didn't
he? Yeah.
He did, yeah. He may have lost that fight.
It was close, but yeah, he could have lost that easily. But this fight, I find it really intriguing because they're both pretty vulnerable, but they're both offensive machines. Really, like they can both punch. Like you can see either one of these being on the end of a really, really bad knockout. Yeah, like
I think that's the way it has to end. Honestly.
Yeah. They're both defensively not that brilliant. Both punch really hard. I just think it's going to be a really good fight. I really do think this is going to be a really, really good fight.
Well, it's definitely. I think it's definitely not going the distance.
I think it would bode well more for Nonshinga if it went farther. They both punch so hard. It's actually crazy.
Are you sure about that, though?
I'm not sure about any of it really. Like, I'm not 100% sure about it because they both just hit hard. It might not go past 3 rounds, honestly.
Do you really think I agree that it can only go 3 rounds, but they're both just so vulnerable. I don't even think Nonshinga's really a light flyweight anymore. Like he's so big, he's so drained. And that's partially why I think he got iced by Kuriel. Because he's just so drained.
You see the pictures of Ibuki recently. He's in incredible shape.
Yeah, he's in ridiculous shape. And he has no water in his body. He's drained as well.
Yeah, they're both drained.
Because Ibuki's not a small person either. Well, he's a small person, but he's not small for 108.
Wasn't one of his fights? Yeah, the Simsbury fight was at well, they both weighed 110, so it wasn't light flyer.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know, man.
I think that was the.
That was the fight after, yeah,
no.
After Kenshiro.
I'm trying to think what the comeback. Oh, the Viva. His last fight was the comeback fight from his Achilles injury.
Yeah, that might play a factor as well.
I see in that fight he was wearing really really long, thick socks. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, because his last fight was actually at flyweight. He was 111 for that fight.
Yeah. Yeah, so he hasn't made 108 since January 2023. Nonshinga, I honestly I worry about Nonshinga more making the weight.
And more
Because
with his performance, because with Ibuki, I guess you can think about the Achilles injury, but he still looked good since like after and before, like the fights before that. With Nonshinga, he almost lost every single round to Kirill before he stopped him. He got knocked out into the fight before, and then he didn't really look super impressive against Suganov either. But
that Suganov fight, it was like he dropped him really early, didn't he? Like the
dropped him the
first or
first
second.
round.
Yeah. And then you're just sort of waiting for him to sort of step on the not step on the gas, not the gas, and up the gears and sort of stop him. And he just didn't, and it just sort of petered out into sort of a boring decision. And like you were sat there watching that fight, thinking, like, for me anyway,
Are you gonna do
I thought,
something?
are you going to do something? Just do a bit more, and he just didn't. He lacked the gears to go through, and like I. I really rate Nonshinga as like an operator. Like I think he's very, very skilled. I think he punches hard. I don't think he's defensively very good, but he's had so many of these tough fights, and he's a very big guy for 108, and it's just all pointing towards him just getting caught as owner. For me, anyway. I can just see one of these big shots landing and Ibuki swarming him, and that being that.
Well, we've
It
seen
could
him.
really be as easy as that.
I mean, we've seen him be vulnerable at long range, and you know who's great at long range?
Yeah,
Masamichi
Ibuki.
Ibuki. Well, I mean, he has had some not so great performances. I don't really look at the Kuriel performance as bad because I think that was more of a game plan to keep it close and not do much and try and let Kuriel wear himself down and punch himself out.
It did work.
And then step on the gas and take it. Like I think that was a game plan rather than him actually just looking bad and losing all these rounds.
Yeah, it did work.
Maybe, but
that's risky. Because what if he doesn't wear himself out? And then let's say he doesn't get stopped. I mean, he's already way too far down to win the fight unless he actually gets the knockdown.
And Ibuki's gas tank is pretty good too.
Yeah, I mean, his gas tank in the first Kenshiro fight was good.
And Shikon went 11 rounds as well, didn't it?
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Nonshinga. It's just this. You get these guys that are very, very good in their own sort of realm, and when that's sort of disrupted, I don't think he copes very well with it. Like Courier went out there, stuck it on him in the first fight, and it completely disrupted him, and he was lunging in, and he just couldn't deal with it. If that was a slow paced start where it's a boxing match and sort of at slightly long range, mid to long range, he's fine, and he wins that first fight easy. But if Ibuki starts really fast there, I can't see Nonshinga winning, honestly. That's what I'm trying to say, really. Nonshinga needs to start this fight really well.
He does. I have no idea how he's going to fight this fight. It would make more sense to have not a Kirill game plan as if he's not doing anything, but actually fight him up close.
The worry I have, if you sit on the ropes and stand in front of Ibuki, you're getting stopped.
Well, maybe you could switch up and fight him on the inside in the center of the ring.
He might need to do that, honestly, to keep away from the long range punches.
Because, I mean, his jab is very predictable and it's easily timed, which we saw Kirill do it.
In 2 rounds, it didn't even take him a long time to figure that out.
I mean, you could see it coming as well. He was trying that exact same shot in the first round, just missed. And then he finally got it.
He dips and jabs.
And bang.
He brings it in and then throws it out. But yeah, I don't honestly. When I said about it could be better for someone if it went late, now I'm thinking about. I don't think the fight goes late regardless. Honestly,
Yeah, I agree. I think it's done inside 6 rounds.
I don't think it goes past 6 or 7. I would probably. I want to say like my round picking is not to like disrespect like Nanshinga and think he's just gonna get ran over. I don't like they both hit too hard, and I feel like Yabuki hits harder, and I think he'll stop Nanshinga in about 4 or 5 rounds.
It wouldn't surprise me if someone gets off the floor to win this, though.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good competitive fight until Nonchika gets caught and stopped in the first half.
I agree. I can see Ibuki going down and getting up, though. Because pretty much everyone else has managed to get up against Nonshinga's knockdowns recently, haven't they?
Sugano,
Flores.
was
Yeah.
Kirill was like got like a standing 8 count.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I guess he could get off the floor too. You can see that in the Araneta fight. Araneta punches probably as hard as Ibuki does, and he got him. Araneta just didn't have enough time to finish him.
yeah. We're gonna move on because there's about 9 million fights to talk about. But one thing I would say is just look at look at Yabuki's record and check his first 10 fights, because those losses, they aren't normal losses for people in their first 10 fights. Just have a look at that, and we'll probably touch on that later. But just have a look at those like first 10 fights. The run he had it's absolutely ridiculous.
Talk about him being thrown in the deep end early. It's like
Yeah.
like Roma-sized early fights as well.
Yeah, they're just ridiculous. Anyway, moving on to Saturday. This is going to be a Saturday afternoon show in Japan. John Real Casemiro is fighting Sal Sanchez on a card with a couple of other notable names on it. Now,
Talkers, this fight's on Sunday.
Sunday. I'm so used to fights being on Saturday, and it's Sunday. It's Saturday somewhere, probably Saturday in the US. That's what I was going for. I haven't just got that wrong, I promise. But yeah, it's Sunday.
It will start on Saturday in the US.
Yeah, so that's what I was going for before anyone says anything. But yeah, Sunday in Japan. John Real Casemiro against Sal Sanchez. I think it's fair to say Casemiro's career is on the line here.
Yeah. I think this is his last shot at anything substantial. Maybe he could get something else because he's a name. People know him and he's accomplished a lot. But losing to someone like Sal Sanchez at this stage of his career,
he's done if he loses. And I feel like honestly, I think there's a pretty good shot he could lose.
I think he will.
Honestly.
I really rate Sal Sanchez. Like, I thought he beat Jason Maloney, to be honest. You look at all of his losses, they've been either split or majority decisions. The way he ran over Jericho O'Quinn, like, he's a really good fighter, man, and he definitely punches a lot harder than his record as well. And
he did have a tough time out against Arthur Villanueva last time out.
Yeah, that was on the OTX card, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the same with Villanueva gave fits to Elijah Pierce too. So I guess that's not. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Like Casemiro, man. You know what? You know what's really weird as well? Casemiro hasn't lost since the Jonas Sultan fight in 2017. Is that not weird? Because like the last few years, he's totally fallen apart, and you'd think like.
I mean, he should have lost his last fight.
Yeah, that was a technical draw, wasn't it?
Yeah,
He's on the card too.
he is. And so
But
is
like,
Philip
so is his
Trumbo.
yeah, he's on the card as well. Who he beat for this last fight.
but it's just it's such a weird career because you had the Paul Butler thing with the weight thing where he lost his belt, and he's just done absolutely nothing since.
He's kind of just had weird performances.
And this is going to be a year out the ring.
Almost to the day.
Yeah, one day, like 360 or 7 days, because it's a leap year, out the ring. And like, I don't know, man. You see all these photos online of Casemiro being out of shape, and it's just really worrying, man. At 35, going on 36, does he have it in him?
Well, based
Against
off what I've seen, no.
I don't think he does either. Against the young pressure fighter that sets a high pace, is going into his physical prime, and hits hard. It's worrying for Casemiro, man.
Well, the only thing he has is that Casemiro can punch. He might be he's probably the hardest puncher Sanchez has faced so far.
Maybe. But
Well, look, based off recent form performances, Sam Sanchez should win this fight. But you never know. It's a big fight. It's his last attempt, and he could take it seriously. Come in good shape, put on a good performance. I mean, look, like he's a good fighter, and he still has those skills there. Just whether he can get them at this stage of his career back.
and it's hard to it's hard for guys to reignite that magic when they've been out of shape and they haven't really performed in years, and like, I don't know, man. I just get the sense he's finished. And like, the level of opponents these last few since Rigondo hasn't really been that good. And the best name he's fought, Agari, like, he's lost. He should have lost anyway.
Sanchez much better than his recent opponents.
Yeah.
Triangle fearing a bit, but if you're not looking too good against these people, it doesn't bode well against Sal Sanchez, who, yes, he spent most of his career at bantamweight, but I'm sure he could still be fine. I mean, look, most of these guys they're not natural at their weight, really. I mean, they're draining themselves a lot to make it, so.
And let's be honest, Casemiro started off at what, minimum weight? 105, definitely 108.
Yeah, I think did he start at 108? I think he started at 108.
Did he start at 108 maybe? It was definitely 108 or 105. Like, he's not a huge guy by any means.
It was 108.
108, yeah. Like, he's not big.
Yeah, because with these guys moving up, it's not that they're really moving up. It's just that they're draining themselves less.
Yep.
Which, I mean, that's better for them, to be honest. That's why you see guys who move up and they might like take shots better or punch harder.
But on the flip side, is it they're draining themselves less, or are they training less?
Well,
Because Casemiro, I think he's training less, to be honest.
well, he's lazy. I mean, he doesn't.
Yeah,
he's not
exactly.
very-
Yeah.
He doesn't really take his career seriously, to be honest. I mean, I'm very impressed he's achieved what he has.
But yeah. I just think Sanchez is going to win this fight. I just think he's all the sort of pointers are pointing towards Sanchez for me. Sort of the age, the recent performances, the strength, size, everything pointing towards Sanchez for me. So I just think Sanchez is going to outwork him. You never know.
I'll probably go for Sanchez decision.
I agree.
Yeah,
You never know. It wouldn't
agree.
surprise me.
Look,
It
if
wouldn't surprise me. Go
If
on.
Casimiro rolled back the years, then that's fine. Wouldn't be any surprise. Lots of good fighters get on like one loss, good performance, but don't see it. Don't see it happening. He's gonna get outworked. Do a decision.
Wouldn't surprise me if Casemiro pulls a quit job. If he's miles behind,
Or a body shot stoppage.
yeah, something like
Because
that.
he always blows up, doesn't take very seriously. I mean, you know, it's
Or a
not just that
DQ.
not just that he's Filipino getting stopped at the body. I mean,
Yeah.
Sanchez is a really good body puncher.
Yeah. So we're all agreeing this week. It's
So
weird.
far.
yeah,
It's weird,
which
man.
means we're all gonna be wrong.
Yeah, yeah. Moving on to the next fight. On this show, Kiyoguchi against Vince Perez, a fight that probably shouldn't be happening because Kiyoguchi got robbed absolutely blind earlier this year by Perez.
The
But
trilogy.
yeah, it's another fight that, well, Kiyoguchi's career is on the line, really. If he loses this,
And when it shouldn't be.
it shouldn't be. But if he loses this, like,
Like if he actually loses, then
yeah,
like
He's
considering you've gone from clearly beating him to losing, I mean, something's happened. You've declined a lot.
I think he's declined, period. Honestly, but
he's
would really
declined, and it's the weight. I think, like, he's not carrying the weight as well at 112 than he was at 105. He's a bit sluggish.
I would pick a Kiyoguchi decision this
So
time.
would I. Well, I mean, he's done it twice before.
A 7-3 decision like I scored their second fight.
He's beaten him on points twice before. He should be beating him on points again. But yeah, that first fight, is up there with the worst robberies this year for me. Anyway, like, it was just horrific. Like, literally everyone was like, "What the hell was going on here?"
Look, the only people who didn't question the decision, they replied to me, and it was because they bet on Vince Perez.
I mean, I know it's BoxRec scoring, but like, if you look at the fan score on BoxRec, the average score is 99-91 to Kiyoguchi. Like,
It's not.
yeah, it's not. Yeah, Kiyoguchi wins this fight.
It's not even really a hard fight to score either.
No, it was easy. But yeah, if he I expect Kiyoguchi to win this and then probably get a title shot or a final eliminator of some sort of flyweight. Because he's a name, former champion, 2 divisions. Like, he'll be a good win for a flyweight champion to tick off. He's highly ranked in the WBA, or he was. Because their first fight was meant to be a WBA eliminator for Akui's belt, wasn't it? But like, the WBA just said, well, that decision was wrong, so we're not going to rank a number 1 contender.
Who knows? At some point, you could probably get a Kiyoguchi.
Yep. Yeah, this is the thing this weekend. Everyone's all in action, so like, we're just talking about everyone, and it's sort of, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that robbery win got Vince Perez put in the top 10 by TBRB. I think I remember putting him in there in the rankings in the Discord.
Christ, that's bad. That's bad.
They didn't change Jackie Foster because he got robbed, but yeah, stick Vince Perez in.
It's because they didn't watch it, though, was it? Like, let's be honest, they didn't watch that fight. That's why.
Well, you know, they follow me, so all they have to do is check my Twitter and see that he got robbed.
But yeah, there's a couple of other notable names in that card, but they're not really good fights. So, moving on to the next Sunday card, which is headlined by Takuma Inoue defending his WBA bantamweight title against Seiya Tatsumi in a. I really really like this fight. It's the fight out of all the sort of title fights this week that I'm most undecided on. I just can't pick a winner. I don't know. I don't know about you, but like,
Well,
I could pick a winner, but it's gonna be probably one of the more competitive fights
yeah,
out of all these fights.
I said in the Discord the other day that this is the best fight of the Japanese cards, in my opinion.
it's up there. It's definitely up there. Tatsumi's like really good, really really good, and again another one that's been matched really really tough early on. Like Daigo Higa inside like 7 or 8 fights in your first 10 rounder. Like and getting a draw against him. Like what? Like that's a ridiculously like tough matchmaking.
I mean, Takuma, he's not his brother, of course, but I mean, he's been matched up pretty well. He's like compiled some good wins, to be honest. I mean, he's beat Kurohara, he beat Wake, he beat Boneo, Solis, he stopped Akar. Oh, he also beat someone we're going to mention soon. Pet CP Freshman, his only loss.
Shirashida's a good win as well.
Yeah, just beat Shoshida. Oh, he beat Saludo earlier in his career as well. For now.
Yeah. Like he fights like his brother without the power.
Yep. See, I mean, earlier in his career, like he fought how he should fight. He's a boxer. Now he fights. Well, he's been fighting more and more like his brother every single fight.
It's getting him hurt.
He does not have the facilities for that. Like it's much better for the fans, much more entertaining to watch, but that doesn't mean it's good for you.
Is it though? Like I think he's improved though, if I'm being honest.
I think it's good for him. I've always thought it's a good for him, but unfortunately, his brother is one of the best fighters in the world, so it makes him look worse.
Yeah.
Than he actually is. And the power doesn't help. I mean, people with less power just usually don't get rated as highly.
Yep. But that Anchorhouse fight really, really impressed me though. Like, really impressed me. He stood toe to toe with somebody that looked a lot bigger than him in the ring. Like, I know Anchorhouse was coming up, but like, he looked bigger. He looked big. He looked much bigger. I was watching that fight Monday or Sunday or Monday night, and like Anchorhouse just looked huge in there. And like he stood toe to toe, mixed it up, was outworking him, was winning, and then knocked him out. Like brutal body shot, and it was just a really, really, really good performance. I was really impressed with him that night.
Someone who's never been down.
Yeah.
In however long he's been pro for 15 years, like 13, 14 years.
He's got pretty well-rounded skill set. Just again,
like,
doesn't have that power.
Yeah.
I do think he's a superior boxer, of course, than Satsumi. But Satsumi does punch pretty hard. He's a very awkward fighter.
Switches a lot, doesn't he? He's very aggressive.
I do think he could get a little too reckless sometimes, which we've seen like primarily in the Anaguchi fight. He just was like lunging and like just overdoing a lot of what he was trying to do. I think Takuma will. I think he'll comprehensively beat him on points.
I can't watch that Anaguchi fight back, man. After what happened, like, I haven't watched it back.
I don't blame you.
No, I don't watch fights like that. Which annoys someone.
Doesn't annoy me. I don't reload those fights, even though it is a weird topic because most of those fights that end in tragedy are very good. Like they're like pretty damn good fights. Like Mancini Kim is one of the greatest fights ever, but it's an awkward topic because obviously there's a death in it.
Look, these fights can be as good as they want. I just don't want to watch those fights. I don't
Yeah.
watch.
Again, there's nothing wrong with it.
Don't watch
All-
Perret Thompson or Mancini Kim.
You mean
Ben
Perret
McClellan.
Griffith?
That's what I meant. I definitely do watch Perret Thompson.
Perret Thompson's beautiful.
all I'll say is Tatsumi, his win on the Ioka undercard, it didn't look like the Anaguchi fight affected him that much.
That was what I was trying to see from him in his fight back. If it was going to be a weird, like he was going to like hold back or something, but he didn't at all.
Yeah.
I'm glad he. I'm sure it's still like fresh on his mind. It hasn't even been a year yet since that happened. But.
Yeah. But yeah, I just think Tatsumi might be able to just be too awkward. I think I've just got this nagging feeling that Tatsumi's going to sneak a winner because it's all set up for Takuma Inoue. He's headlining on the same, or he's half headlining the same event as Junto. They're trying to make that fight. They're all talking about that fight. Tatsumi is awkward. He's aggressive. He punches really hard. He's in really, really good form. I'd say one good win from Tatsumi. That Rico Masuda win is going to wage really, really well for him. Because Masuda's a very, very good fighter. Very, very good fighter. He's now going to want the Japanese title. And I think that's going to be a really good win for him.
Sultan in one round, too.
Yeah. Like we said earlier, those early matchmaking, like that sort of early career matchmaking in Japan is going to be, it's ridiculously good. But I just think Tatsumi's going to do it, man. I think Tatsumi's going to nick a sort of 7-5, 8-4 decision. Maybe dropping Takuma because Takuma did get dropped by Shirashida.
I would. I want to say like before. I'll probably pick a Takuma, comprehensive but competitive decision, like a 9-3, 8-4 decision.
I can definitely see that, but there's just something nagging at me.
You finally disagreed.
Which means they're going to draw. And we're all
there's going to be a no contest. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, man.
It's going to be a cut. Second round is going to get swapped in the third round.
Great, pal. Thanks.
But yeah, I think it's going to win a decision.
That's very, very fair.
Because he's the better, anyway.
That is Yuga, in a way, pal.
That is Koki, in a way.
I have no idea about the running order of this card, but Kenshiro against Rosales for the vacant WBC at 112. This is... I was amazed. I was looking at BoxRec the other day. How is Christopher Rosales only 30 years old?
That is weird. He does look and fight like someone who's been a pro for way longer than he actually has been. And obviously, like same with like the Thai fighters. They not exactly like the Thai fighters because they fight debutantes and losing record people, but he fights a lot in between like the major fights.
Has like 8 rounders and that. He lost to
himself pretty active.
Because he lost to Charlie Edwards. That was in like 2018.
He lost to Cao Yafai in 2015.
Beat Higa 2018. Patty Barnes 2018. Lost to Martinez 2019, where Martinez had the long run that he had, and this is his vacant belt. Well, stripped belt.
He lost to Andrew Selby as well. And obviously he got stopped by Martinez.
And then he lost to 12 round decision to Ayala 2 years ago.
In his defense, he's losing to good fighters, minus Charlie Edwards.
Charlie Edwards, man.
And then he lost the 4 rounder in his third fight, but all of his other All of those other losses are uh, former or future world champions. I think.
Yeah, but that Lara did go and fight Kazuo Ioka. Like, he went and fought for a world title.
And Selby wasn't a champion either, but
Selby, I have my own thought. I have my own thoughts about Andrew Selby's career, but that's for another day. Like, it's really, it's genuinely like one of the biggest tragedy. I can't speak strategy. I can't actually say that word, can I? Strategies.
It was
There
a
you go.
tragedy. He got screwed, basically.
His entire career is just sad. Like the talent that kid had. But anyway, no, that's another day. But yeah, like it's.
Yeah, I like Gonzalez. I've always had time for him. I think Kenshiro is gonna comprehensively win this fight.
I agree.
I think this weight is going to help him a lot because
Yeah,
you get to see.
I think this weight's definitely gonna help him.
His man, he's become a crazy action fighter for the last couple of years. I think mostly because of this weight. He's been holding on, trying to get unifications.
Yeah, but
that unfortunately were only granted by Kiyoguchi.
yeah, like Alvarado pulled out, Bomba pulled out, like Nunshinga got knocked out. Like
it's just unfortunate with him, but he could possibly, and I think he'll be a 2 division champion this week.
So do I.
I would
Taraji's
probably,
too fresh. Just
I think the weight will help him a lot. I know Rosales has only ever been stopped by Martinez, but I think this is the fight for his second stoppage loss. I think Kenshiro is going to stop him around rounds 8 and 9.
I don't know. It depends how quickly Kenshiro starts. Like if he can establish that sort of hoppy, sort of back and forth jab.
He starts quick every damn time.
Like yeah, but like when I say start quick, I mean establish himself quick and getting a. There's a difference between starting quick and starting to get in your rhythm to have success really quick. It's slightly different, and if he can do the second, like get into his rhythm really early, I think he'll stop him. But I wouldn't be at all shocked if this goes points. I can see a wide Kenshiro UD, maybe with a body shot knockdown along the way. But yeah,
he's a really constant. It doesn't seem like he ever stops moving, stops punching.
he's got that really weird hoppy style. That
yeah, he just. I hope he's improved his defense in this little gap since he's vacated his belts because.
Well, he had the broken hand, didn't
he? Yeah, but he needs to fix his defense. Like
he really does.
There's no way about it. Like he gets hit way too often. And who knows? Same with Kanazawa's. How he didn't look good after his 108 Classic, one of the greatest fights the division's ever had.
Yeah,
he might not be the same either.
Yeah,
because he arguably lost that fight.
I had him losing.
Some people had him losing. With the open scoring, it seemed like the judges just squeaked it out to give him the last 2 rounds. Like he very narrowly beat Canizales and took a crazy amount of punches.
Yeah, because
and got dropped for the second time ever.
He didn't win those last 2 rounds. I mean, if you want to be generous, you can give him the 11th. Didn't win 12. Definitely didn't win 12.
I had
that's why I had a draw.
I think I had it 7-5 Kenshiro, but yeah, wouldn't be mad at it going the other way. Very, very close fight. But yeah,
scorecards go all over the place, but they stay in this little pocket, right?
You know, he picks up a belt. Kikuchi ends up picking up a belt. We get that rematch. Another unification at flyweight.
Which is weird to have a double unification in 2 different weights. But I just wish the first fight, the first fight, like it's already happened, like their rematch is about to happen, but their fight wasn't competitive, like at all.
Well, there's an even more competitive fight for a champion in a unification at flyweight, but that's for Monday. But moving on to another flyweight champion fighting on the same card or the same day,
Nice transition.
Saigo Yuri Ikuri is fighting a Thai fighter that I'm not going to pronounce.
Thananchai Charunfak.
Yeah, that. Who beat Kento Hatakana? No, I can't. Why can I not pronounce names?
I know you should be the
I
Japanese
don't know.
merchant, and you can't pronounce the names, man. It's
I can't pronounce anything.
Kento Tanaka, beat him by majority decision.
Beat him. And I was pretty high on Kento. I'd watched him a few times, and he's been on the list, hasn't he? A couple of times.
He has been on the list.
Yeah, that's a good win. But
but the Thai fighters seem to come over, and a lot of them come to lay down, honestly. But
yeah, but looking at this kid, I'm not gonna lie, I've only seen the Kento fight. He's a typical Thai fighter, full of 6-rounders. His last fight before the Kento fight was an 0-3 guy, and then he went to a unanimous decision against a 2-2 guy over 10 rounds. Like
active, but you're not. You just had your first good opponent. You did win though. With these Thai fighters, they fight all the nondescript fighters, and then they fight a good fighter, and then they lose. But,
they just get slaughtered to the body.
He's four fighters with winning records. Short and sweet.
Short career.
Akui's going to stop him early.
Akui's a good fighter. He's matured into a really, really good fighter. And again, shall we do this conversation now and wait till June? We'll do it now. The early career matchmaking of Ibuki, Akui, and Nakatani, they all fought each other before the 10-round stage of their career. Jun'o fought Ibuki over 4 rounds, and Jun'o fought Akui over 8 rounds and stopped Akui in the 6th.
And then
Ibuki
in 1 round.
Yeah. The early career matchmaking of these Japanese kids is ridiculous. It's quite poetic that 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, these kids were having these sort of round robins on sort of domestic level shows at the Korakuen Hall and all around Japan in these sort of tournaments that you build up. And then in 2024, they're fighting in world title fights on 3 consecutive days. It's quite poetic. It's a nice story, I think. No, but it is. You laugh. It's a nice story. All these guys are going around at domestic level, beating the hell out of each other. They all graduate, and they're all sort of at world level now.
And they
years later,
be world champions at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice little story, that.
Yeah. But with this Akui, I think he's gonna stop Charunfak. It's not.
Yeah, he's gonna run him over, isn't he?
Not gonna be competitive. Mid round stoppage for me.
Maybe earlier than that. Now for another fighter that's interlinked on this card, Shikichi Iwata. He's fighting Hiro Noriega for the WBO light flyweight title. Iwata's second attempt at a world title after losing to Bomba Gonzalez, who's also fighting on the Monday. He lost to Bomba Gonzalez on the Kenshiro against Kyoguchi undercard for that belt. And a fight that was set up for him to win, but he just
didn't.
Yeah,
we don't need to talk about the specifics of that fight. Jesus.
It was a dreadful fight, but Bomba just switched him off, like Bomba does. He switches people off and then wins absolutely dreadful fights.
Yeah, he makes people switch off their TV as well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this is an interesting matchup. But
I really rate Noriega. His performance against Villa away from home in Panama, I believe.
No, it was on that.
I was in Nicaragua.
I think it was the Chocolatito comeback undercard.
No, it wasn't on that card. It was on a different one. It headlined.
It was on that one.
It was in Nicaragua, though.
It was in Nicaragua, but it wasn't on the Chocolatito card. But yeah, Noriega won every round of that fight. The scorecards were ridiculous. There's no way you can give Villar a round of that. It was a really, really good
I give him
performance.
3 in the 4 round.
Did you see the unofficial scoring? It's like after like 5 rounds, just gave him like 3 consecutive rounds for doing nothing. Just because someone's coming forward doesn't mean they're winning the round.
Yeah. Villar got his head boxed off.
You know who he fights like?
Hmm.
Sandor Martin.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Not because he's Spanish.
Girl.
It's because he fights like him, just not as Apple.
And do you know what gives a Weta fits?
Boxers.
Fighters that fight like Sandor Martin.
They can move. Well, depends. Like, will that type of style of fighting be rewarded in Japan?
It was against Bomber.
It was, but it wasn't again. The Agui fight.
The Lakian.
That's what I meant. Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't in that fight.
Let's see. But I don't know, man. I really don't know.
I'd probably say he'll still struggle because you can't just all of a sudden know how to deal with boxers. But I think he'll get a decision this time. Iwata.
I think he'll get a decision that a lot of people, probably myself included, think he lost.
It's gonna be hard. I don't know if Norega's gonna throw enough punches to get the decision. Even if he deserves the decision.
Iwata might not land enough punches either.
Yeah, but they'll prefer someone who's throwing rather than not throwing, even if they're not throwing.
And coming forward.
Rather than someone like constantly moving on the back foot.
Yeah.
Trapped in a I don't know. I don't really see Iwata being able to stop him though. Like I can't see that at all.
Yeah, no, I can't really see that. I mean, Noriega, his defense is pretty fine. He has good head movement. Because if he can't hit him, I mean, he can't stop him, and he can't seem to hit people that move very well.
I agree. It's a really tough fight for Iwata. But as you say, like Noriega probably just won't do enough. But yeah, I've got no confidence in picking a winner in that fight. But yeah, given he's at home, and given there was a little bit of controversy around the Bomber decision, like a few people thought Iwata did enough. I think Iwata will nick a decision, but I'm not confident at all.
I think it's gonna be close. There's like a 7-5 either way or a draw type fight that I think Iwata's gonna get. Just because he'll be on the front foot and throwing more punches.
Yeah. That's it for Sunday, is it? Yeah, that's it for Sunday. Monday the 14th. A card headlined by Nakatani with 3 world title fights on and an intriguing bantamweight fight. We'll start from the bottom with this one because I think we should end on Nakatani. But Olasquaga against Bomba Gonzalez for the WBO flyweight title. I hope Anthony Olasquaga ends this man. Just get him out of the sport. Get him out of the sport. This man is a terrible, terrible excuse of a champion. He fights awful. He's an awful, awful, awful watch. He consistently pulls out of fights, consistently fails to make weight, consistently talks like he wants fights, demands huge money when he's done absolutely nothing in his career, and then gets gift decisions against people like Rene Santiago. I'm sick of him, and I hope Olasquaga really puts a dent in him and puts him in orbit, man. Because I'm sick of this guy. I'm sick of Bomba Gonzalez.
Yeah, with that, Olasquaga by KO.
Yeah, like any decent fighter, Bomber has faced at flyweight. He's going to get stopped because that's just what happens with Bomber at flyweight. He fights someone decent and he goes down.
Maybe Olasquaga can get another freaky knockout.
I
Yeah.
think he'll.
Did against
I think
Kano.
he'll do well early.
Yeah, I don't think
And
it'll be early.
Hopefully, he's on the end of a Riku Kanu knockout.
I
Yeah,
would say Olasquaga in around 7, 8 rounds.
Because I mean, it's not hard. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, to fight against Bomber with his style. It does take some figuring out, and if you can't figure it out,
how did you score the Santiago fight? Out of interest.
It was another Bomba, like it's just another Bomba. I can't nearly pay attention to those fights.
I
Right?
had Santiago winning it.
Yeah, but you're a little biased. You hate him with your heart.
Yeah, but so does the BoxRec scorers. The BoxRec scorers, who I trust on this occasion, have Rene Santiago winning that.
On this specific occasion.
well, I mean, when was that fight? In March? I would have lost my scorecard, so I have no idea.
You definitely wouldn't have scored it because
Yeah,
it was close, but it was a lot of nothing.
See,
I
even if
really-
he wins fights, just the way he fights, just I don't want to give him any rounds.
I don't think he'll
Do
win.
you
any
deserve
rounds.
winning rounds, doing what you're doing?
Nope.
No. Even if you're scoring, like, do you deserve it? No.
he's just a horrible fighter.
Because when he was good, like back in the day, before he became what he is now, I mean, look at he was like way ahead against Tanaka
Dropped him.
before it got started. Then he dropped him because he didn't used to fight like this. I don't know what made him start fighting like this. I have no idea. But whatever it was, I hate it.
And it will come to an end, I predict.
It's kind of Olasquaga is a defensive, an offensive force. I believe he punches very, very hard for flyweight. He can put combinations together. I really, really rate his training setup with Rudy Hernandez. I think Olasquaga should knock him out. Yeah,
It's weird to think that Olasquaga's not even had a dozen fights yet.
yeah, and he's fought Magramo, Magramo, Kanu, and Kenshiro, and he's
Bro,
had 8 fights.
24 years old. 25 years old. One of the youngest champions in the sport. And he just in those 3 fights he's kind of like consumed a lot of like same with the Japanese fighters who get thrown in just thrown in like that. I think him coming as that late replacement for Bamba, funnily enough, against Kenshiro really helped his career.
Yeah.
Even though Kenshiro won practically every round of that fight for me,
Still list.
but it was really, really competitive.
Like, you saw Olasquaga talent, and who would have thought it? You fight good fighters, and you improve because he's getting better.
Same with Magrama. He was. I probably think he was losing up until he got the stoppage, but he needed that. And look, it might have been that improvement right between those fights with Magrama and Kano because look, he ran Kano over.
Yeah, and I hope he runs this kid over as well. I really hope he runs this kid over.
I predict
He's
Olasquaga.
good.
I predict Olasquaga in 7.
Yeah, mid rounds, but left it to the body. Olasquaga KO.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He is hoping anyway, because we can't have Bomba winning another world title.
He's gonna lose the first few rounds, and then he's just gonna do what he does.
Talking of Japanese boxing, go on, Dan. I cut you off.
No,
Sorry.
what I was gonna say is irrelevant anyway. So anyway, carry on.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was a bit sensitive at the time, but yeah. Tanaka against Kafu. Because these cards are all the same weights and pretty much everyone's fought everyone. Tanaka's another one that's fought Bomba. Like half these guys on these cards have fought other guys on these cards. So he's fighting Kafu from South Africa. I've watched one Kafu fight where he beat Jackson Chalke by a split decision. But the most interesting thing about Kafu is that his age constantly changes on BoxRec. I kid you not, he was 19 about 3 months ago. Now he's 30, and at one stage in between that, he was 27.
Are you being ageist right now? It's crazy.
No, I'm just saying that Mr. Gray needs to get it right because it obviously isn't.
He doesn't look super. He doesn't look like he's 30. He looks pretty young.
Who knows, man? Who knows? But his age consistently changes.
Yeah, with that, Tanaka he's going to show out, I think.
Yeah, Tanaka's just a level above, isn't it? Like the Chalke fight was really, really close.
I wish they got him a better opponent though, because with the opponent that he was supposed to have and that got canceled like the day of or the day before.
Titan Gonzalez was that?
Yeah, I feel like they should have got him a better opponent because it's kind of just like the same. It's like a little upgrade, but not like a big enough upgrade to like really help him because the vacant title he won was like, against another like non.
Yeah, I'll say who they should have got. They should have got David Jimenez.
Is he still? I don't know if he's still a flyweight. Oh no, he's a super flyweight now. Then
Yeah,
because he beat a Scrappy.
yeah,
But yeah, again, he might. He probably wouldn't have been able to because the WBA. He's like WBA interim champion or whatever.
yeah.
So that would have been weird with the belt. But I like that opponent like as a title defense though.
Yeah.
That would actually be a good enough opponent to like push him. Because I don't think Kafu will push him. I think Tanaka will win every second of this fight, honestly.
Well,
Yeah, and I think he'll stop him.
Because of the way he fights. I mean, I watched Kafu's fight against Libranzo last year. I mean, that was close. And he got hurt twice in that fight. He got caught in an exchange both times with a left hook. He, like a lot of South African boxers, he tries to be a slick back foot fighter. And, I mean, he does okay with it, but these are very limited opponents. And Jose Tanaka, he's one of the best offensive fighters of this generation. And he'll just pick you apart. If you're trying to be a slick back foot fighter and you're not great at it, you're going to get picked apart.
Yeah, same with Olis Quagga. Not the same rounds, but not the same reason. I think he'll want to get at least a couple, like a good amount of rounds in since he hasn't fought in a good amount of time. I think it will be like a late round stoppage, like 10.
Yeah, I think a little bit earlier, but yeah, I agree. Sort of second half stoppage, like 8 or 9. But yeah, like Tanaka's been a bit unfortunate this year, and he's been sort of the one that's been left out of the sort of. There's been all the other belts at 115 have been involved in big fights. Ioka against Martinez and Estrada against Bam, and like he's just been casted aside a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like
and now he's fighting Kafu and
yeah, Martinez and Yoka are gonna rematch at the end of the year, and then I'm not. Oh yeah, and Bam is about to fight Govar.
yeah, which are both good fights again. But the IBF's about to go vacant as well. Though that's the issue with that fight. And I said to you before, the kid that's promoted by Kameda, the Mexican kid, Rene Bibiano, I think his name is. He's going to be fighting for the IBF. I'm pretty sure. So maybe Tanaka can go for that, but who knows at this point? Like, who knows? But yeah, it's
because we could probably get a Ioka Tanaka rematch.
maybe if
That'd be
Ioka beats Martinez.
I would say that's a big if right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won't.
I don't think he will either.
Moving on. Tenshin Nasukawa, who I believe is one of the most intriguing prospects in the entire sport, is taking on Gerwin Asio for the WBO Asia Pacific Bantamweight title. Tenshin, obviously the kickboxing background and all that, we all know the story. But my God, did he look good against Jonathan Rodriguez? My God, did he look good?
I didn't think it was doing like that. I knew he was going to beat him because Rodriguez took a lot of punishment in that last fight.
The Vargas fight, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't think he was going to run him over like that because Tenshin doesn't seem to have like a crazy amount of power, but he has like insane speed and punch placement. I thought it was going to take a little bit longer than that, but it just didn't.
It's just this perfect mixture of timing, speed, and placement. And he's so accurate, man. He's so accurate now.
Yeah, I mean, seems to have made not a full transition, but a good transition from kickboxing to boxing. And you can tell when you watch him fight.
Like on debut, it was only last year he made his debut against who was it? Some Japanese domestic kid. He won every round of that fight and dropped him, but he looked dreadful. Like his feet were so bad. He was square on all the time. Like he just really didn't look like he was going to be anything much in boxing. But the improvement he's made over the last sort of 18 months has been ridiculous. Like I didn't think he would be, but I genuinely believe he's a serious player at world level in the next 2 years now.
Which is weird to say, because with the kickboxer type, you can still see in like the other most known kickboxer, TK, he seems to still be kind of. You can see in his stance he really wants to just kick somebody.
Yeah.
Inside 4 fights, it seems like Tenshin is already locked into boxer mode.
Well, and they're obviously pushing him very, very quickly. Like he's governing body rankings, like he's top 5 of the WBC and WBA. They're pushing him really, really quickly.
Common with the Japanese fighters.
Yeah. Like I don't know, man. I can see him winning a world title in the next 12 months, especially with how bantamweight falls apart. Like,
yeah, I think when the belts fragment after probably Nakatani decides to move up.
Yeah, Nakatani can get a win in unification and then move up.
I don't think he'll try to be undisputed. It's funny because he's in his 3rd weight class and he's still too big.
Like we're filming this on Wednesday, and there was a picture or a video from Tuesday. Bearing in mind he weighs in on Sunday, Nakatani is already sweating out and drained, and his eyes look sunk, and like it's Tuesday. you know that meme, like that "what a week" meme, and then like the guy goes, "Boss, it's only Wednesday." that just came in my head when I saw that. But anyway, like, should we just talk about the main event now? Because it's a natural transition. Junto Nakatani against Pet CP Freshmart.
What a record he has.
76-1 with about 70 debutants. Yeah.
This is not going past round 3.
Well, I mean, I've probably watched the most Pet CP Fresh fights here because I watch loads of his fights because they're all streamed on YouTube. And he's getting stopped in 3 rounds.
Yep.
Yep. Another nothing. I think Nakatani probably didn't think Ashalabi was gonna get finished that quickly. Most people didn't think he was gonna get knocked out in one round.
He just felt a body shot and
It's gonna
quit.
be
Like
it's gonna be
Filipinos
another.
do.
It's gonna be another short fight. So.
I mean, Petch CB first one, he's probably one of the better random Thai fighters that just fight random people and then step up and lose. But he's still not that good.
Yeah. We don't really even need to talk about this that long. It's funny because he's even though he's not Japanese, he's another fighter who's fought
someone.
one of these other. His only
It's
loss
ridiculous.
is Takuma.
It's ridiculous, man.
Like this 2-fight streak for Nakatani reminds me of Inoue's 2021.
Santiago was a good fighter.
Yep, 2-fight streak, not including Santiago. Just a
That's
couple
a good
fights.
point. I can't count. That's a bit harsh. I think Astrolabio was good.
Yeah, that's good.
It wasn't
Just
shown
just
to
a
be
2-fight
good.
streak.
Like, is what it was. He was rated top 10. He just felt a body shot and quit. Is what it is. But yeah, this not on Monday.
I wish Junto would have used up his like low amount of bantamweight fights he has left on a better opponent.
Yeah, you know this kid's mandatory technically as well.
Mm, look, it's better than him
Not fighting.
being inactive. Any fight is better than being inactive, especially at the lower weights.
Yeah, but when you knock someone out with the first 10 punches you throw.
Well, in his defense, I mean, everyone else has either recently fought or busy. Other champ is he, and
I wish
seems like he's.
Nishida seems to be the only person who's not really.
Well, he's probably still recovering from his fight with Rodriguez.
Yeah,
because that was a war, and maybe this is just possibly a tune-up for the Takuma fight.
yeah. I think they're targeting that for December or January.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully,
Because if it's a December, 4 fights in a year for him.
yeah,
I mean, for the January, that's still basically 4 fights.
yeah. It's an interesting division, bantamweight. I think we had the discussion about it.
It's a good division.
Was it on this show? Was it in private?
I think it was on the. Was it the preview for Inoue?
Yeah, because of Sakai, wasn't it? Yeah, we had a discussion about it.
Sakai was on that card.
Yeah, yeah.
And the review as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. If you're in the Yoshiki Sakai business, you do not put him in with any of these champions. You sit out and wait for a tension fight, because that fight will be massive, man.
that would sell out the Superdome.
Two big kickboxing stars going for a world title in boxing. Both unbeaten, both knocking people out. Like, that would be ridiculous. And if you're managing Sakai, that's the fight you go for, in my opinion.
I thought the Tokyo Dome had more than 55,000 people in it. They need a bigger venue than that.
Yeah, look, if Tenjin has a chin, he wins that fight.
I agree.
And
which is crazy to say.
I mean, we haven't really his stamina. Well, if he has good stamina as well. I mean, he hasn't really been tested long.
It's crazy to say that though, because I genuinely thought he was a gimmick when he turned over. Like, that first fight and that second fight wasn't that impressive either. I thought this kid's a gimmick, but like, He's really impressing me.
As long as if you come from a different sport, as long as you're taking it seriously and show some improvements, fine by me.
Yeah.
Showed a lot of improvements in barely any time.
It's crazy, man. But yeah, that's about it. Just run through our predictions quickly. And then we'll wrap it up. Nonshinga Ibuki, I think we're all going Ibuki KO.
Yep.
We're all going for Sanchez, aren't we?
Yep.
Yeah,
All going for Kiyoguchi to beat Perez.
Yeah.
for a third time. Yeah.
I'm going for Tatsumi. You two are going for Takuma.
Yeah.
All going for a Weta decision.
Yeah.
All going for a Kui by KO.
Mm-hmm.
All going for what's the other fight? Kenshiro. Did you predict that fight, Dan?
Oh no, he didn't. I don't think.
I didn't. Kenshiro in like 8.
I think.
Yeah.
I think it's
Kenshiro
gonna look
might
good.
Yeah.
And finally not go life and death.
Yeah, we're all going Kenshiro KO. Then that's that card done, isn't it? Oh yeah, Wow points. I don't know if I said that. Then Monday, Junto KO inside like 3 rounds. Kose Tanaka KO mid to late. Tenshin KO probably mid to late as well. And Odosquaga KO in the mid round. So we're pretty much agreeing on everything, apart from Tatsumi against Takuma Inoue, which is a brilliant fight. But yeah, all these fights, I think Nonshinga against Ibuki is on a beamer. You can get that with a VPN. Good luck finding Casemiro.
That's
you
on
probably
you
won't.
next. That's on you
That's
next.
on
You
you
can't watch
next.
that.
Yeah, we'll
You
see
need
it. We'll see
need
it the day. We'll
Japanese-
see it the day after.
Japanese phone number, then you get I think it's like I think when the
You get
Casemiro card
Japanese bank account.
finishes, that's when the Takuma card starts. Well, that's on
Yeah.
ESPN Plus in America, Sky
And
Sports
Sky.
in the UK.
Yeah, and then the same with the Monday card. But yeah, this weekend is ridiculous. Obviously, Batavia Bivol. We've got a show out for that already. That's out on the channel. As
Our
always,
most viewed videos so far.
our most viewed video. Yeah, it's a big fight week. Big fight week. All the links and stuff in the description, as always. Discords, Twitters, you name it. It's all down there. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for joining us for episode 8. And yeah, we'll have probably 2 review shows. Review shows.
buddy.
Not shoes. I can't. I don't know what it is. I just can't speak at the moment. Yeah, we'll have a couple of review shows out next week. And yeah, thanks for listening.
See you in episode 9.